Amazon's real product is not the package. It is the feeling that buying something should take almost no effort. One click, fast shipping, endless recommendations. And before you realize it, the thing you barely wanted is already on its way to your house. That is the genius of Amazon. Because when most people look at Amazon, they see an online store, a giant website full of products, books, phones, headphones, kitchen gadgets, dog toys, things you need, things you do not need, and things you somehow convince yourself are basically an investment. But Amazon is not powerful just because it sells a lot of stuff. Amazon is powerful because it made buying feel natural, almost automatic. It removed the small moments where people usually stop and think, should I buy this? Is shipping too expensive? Can I trust this seller? Will it arrive on time? Can I return it if I regret everything tomorrow morning? Amazon looked at every tiny hesitation in shopping and tried to make it disappear. That is why Amazon does not feel like a store. It feels like a button connected to almost everything. To understand why this matters, think about shopping before Amazon became normal. If you wanted something, you had to make an effort. You went to a store, you looked around, maybe they had it, maybe they did not, maybe it was too expensive, maybe you had to drive somewhere else. Shopping had friction, and friction is powerful. Friction gives your brain time to ask questions. Do I really need this? Is it worth the trip? Can I wait? Should I save the money? Amazon changed that by making shopping feel faster, easier, safer, and more personal. The first layer is selection. Amazon wants you to feel like everything is there. If you need a charger, it is there. If you need a book, it is there. If you need a strange little plastic part for a kitchen drawer that nobody should know exists, it is probably there too. This matters because selection changes behavior. When a store has limited options, you compare. You compromise, you leave. But when a store feels endless, you stay inside the system. Amazon became the place where the first question is no longer, where should I buy this? The first question becomes, is it on Amazon? That is a powerful position. Because once a company becomes the default place to start looking, it controls a huge part of the buying journey. The second layer is speed. Amazon understood something simple. Waiting makes people hesitate. If delivery takes 2 weeks, you may think twice. If shipping costs extra, you may abandon the cart. But if the package arrives tomorrow, the purchase feels smaller, less serious, less painful. Fast shipping changes the emotional weight of spending. A $20 purchase that arrives next week feels like a decision. A $20 purchase that arrives tomorrow feels like a solved problem. That is why speed is not just logistics. It is psychology. Amazon trained customers to expect convenience, and once customers expect convenience, every slower option feels worse. This is where Prime becomes so important. Prime is not just a shipping membership, it is a habit machine. When people pay for Prime, shipping starts to feel prepaid. Even if the membership costs money, each order can feel like the shipping is free. And when something feels free, people use it more. Prime changes the question from, should I pay for delivery? To, I already have Prime, so why not use it? That one shift is huge. Amazon does not need every purchase to feel important. It needs purchases to feel easy enough that you stop treating them like major decisions. A cable, a book, a coffee filter, a phone stand, a random organizer for a drawer you opened once and suddenly decided was ruining your life. Each purchase feels small, but small habits repeated millions of times become an empire. The third layer is trust. Buying online used to feel risky. You could not touch the product. You could not inspect it. You had to trust photos, descriptions, sellers, delivery, and return policies. Amazon reduced that fear with reviews, ratings, tracking, refunds, and familiar checkout. Reviews are especially powerful because they turn strangers into decision assistants. You do not just see a product, you see stars, you see photos, you see complaints, you see people saying, I bought this, and here is what happened. That reduces uncertainty. And when uncertainty goes down, buying goes up. Amazon knows people do not always want the best product. They want the product that feels safest to choose. That is why ratings, delivery dates, return options, and seller reputation matter. They make the decision feel less dangerous. And when a decision feels safe, people move faster. The fourth layer is recommendations. Amazon does not just wait for you to search, it suggests, it nudges. It says, people also bought this. You might like that. This goes with the thing you just bought. Customers who viewed this also viewed something slightly more expensive. This turns the store into a maze that keeps producing new reasons to buy. A normal store has shelves. Amazon has memory. It remembers what you searched, what you clicked, what you ignored, what you bought, what people like you bought. Then it uses that information to make the store feel personal. That is powerful because a personalized store is harder to leave. It feels like the store understands you. Even when it is really just a machine guessing what might make you click again. The fifth layer is the marketplace. Amazon is not only selling its own products, millions of third-party sellers use Amazon to reach customers. That means Amazon does not need to own every product on the shelf. It can build the shelf. It can control the traffic. It can provide fulfillment. It can collect fees. It can sell ads. It can turn millions of sellers into inventory without acting like a traditional retailer for every single item. That is one of the most important parts of the model. Amazon is not just a store. It is a platform where businesses fight for attention. And when businesses fight for attention, advertising becomes extremely valuable. When someone searches on Amazon, they are often close to buying. A person searching for headphones on Amazon is very different from a person casually watching a video about headphones. They may already be ready to spend, so sellers pay to appear in front of them. That turns Amazon into something more than retail. It becomes a shopping search engine, a marketplace, a logistics network, an advertising platform, a subscription business, and through AWS, even a cloud infrastructure company. That is why Amazon is hard to describe in one sentence. If you call it an online store, you miss the marketplace. If you call it a marketplace, you miss Prime. If you call it a shipping company, you miss advertising. If you call it a consumer company, you miss AWS. Amazon is not one business. It is a stack of businesses that reinforce each other. Retail brings customers. Customers bring sellers. Sellers bring selection. Selection brings more customers. More customers make ads valuable. Prime increases habit. Fast delivery increases trust. Everything connects. That is the deeper reason Amazon feels so powerful. The customer sees convenience. The business sees a system. A normal store sells you something and hopes you come back. Amazon tries to become the place where you automatically go before you even think about alternatives. That is not just retail. That is behavior design. And this is where the story becomes a little uncomfortable. Because the same system that makes life easier can also make spending easier. Convenience is useful. Fast delivery is useful. Reviews are useful. Recommendations are useful. But when all of them work together, they reduce the pain of buying. And sometimes that pain is what protects your wallet. A little friction can be healthy. Having to drive to a store gives you time to think. Having to pay for shipping makes you pause. Waiting a few days gives you a chance to realize you do not need the thing. But Amazon removes many of those pauses. It turns desire into action quickly. See it, click it, get it, repeat. That is why Amazon is not just changing where people shop. It changes how people decide. It makes buying feel like problem solving. Your phone cable is broken? Buy one. Your shelf is messy? Buy an organizer. Your kitchen feels boring? Buy a gadget. Your life has a tiny problem. Amazon has a tiny product. And the faster the solution arrives, the more natural the habit becomes. This is the genius and the danger of the system. Amazon became one of the most important companies in the world by making commerce feel effortless. But effortless spending is still spending. A smooth checkout does not mean a smart purchase. A fast package does not mean real value. A recommendation does not mean you needed it. The business lesson is simple. The strongest companies often win by removing friction. McDonald's makes food predictable and fast. Apple makes technology feel seamless. Visa makes payments feel invisible. And Amazon makes buying feel almost automatic. That is why Amazon's real product is not just the package on your doorstep. It is the entire feeling around that package. The confidence that you can find it, the trust that it will arrive, the comfort that you can return it, the habit of starting there first, the expectation that shopping should be fast, easy, and almost invisible. So the next time an Amazon box arrives at your door, do not just look at what is inside. Look at the system behind it, the search bar, the reviews, the recommendations, the sellers, the warehouse, the delivery route, the prime habit, the advertising machine, the tiny moments of friction that were removed before you even noticed them. Because Amazon did not just build a store, it built a machine that turns intention into purchase faster than almost anyone else. And that is why Amazon makes buying feel too easy.